My health journey, just as everyone else, is unique. It started over 12 years ago where I found out that I have a dominant gene related to cancer. It's incredibly rare. It's called CDH1, and if you're a female, it links you to stomach and breast cancer. And it's been a journey. I've probably had over 20 surgeries to this date. One step at a time. Did a lot of things proactively, but also got things in the nick of time as well. So even, going and screening for breast cancer, thinking you're doing the right thing, you find out you just caught it. And it's a gene that has impacted multiple generations of my family. And some of us have been able to navigate it, others unfortunately are not here. So, but I'm very proud to eradicate this gene for the generation after me, because I brought twin boys into this world, and I did so with IVF, doing DNA testing, thanks to medical advancements, so I could stop this deadly gene taking too many lives too early.
That's amazing. What was it like returning to work? What sort of support did you receive? The challenges and the good and the bad.
Yeah. Since I've had so many surgeries and it's been stomach and breast, there's been different moments in time. Didn't all happen at once, right? And there were times where I couldn't come back to work. Either physically wasn't ready, mentally I was really struggling with everything that goes on. And so the company I worked for at the time was very supportive, and they said, you take the time that you need to get better. Your job's here, whatever you need. I was very lucky to have such great support, and that company is IPG, who will be here today. And it was quite startling for me to come back to work because I physically looked different through all my health challenges. So it was hard, but I had great support from colleagues and built my strength, because work gave me back my confidence that I was lacking, because I felt outside the world, right? When you go through health challenges, you kind of watch the world go by, and you're like, I want to get back in. And so going back to work was a blessing. And then a few years later, I had to go through breast cancer. So, it was again that the company had to support me. They were, and anyone that goes through breast cancer, it's not just one surgery, it's multiple. And so it's important that companies recognize the diagnosis is incredibly important, but it's the process. And that is both physical and emotional.
What sort of advice would you give to leadership and colleagues for people coming back after a diagnosis or after recovering?
I think as a leader, you need to understand that individual. Some need time to process. Some want the help right away. And so you have to really have great EQ to understand, because it's not the same playbook. I have some colleagues that just wanted to pour themselves into work and not tell anyone about it. But you made sure on the side they knew the resources that were available. And I always suggested finding an advocate for yourself, because you're in these appointments and you can only process so much. And so you need someone by your side to make sure they're hearing everything. You have space to get your questions in, and you rely on multiple people. I think a lot of times you share stories, and I think that's what companies need to do, is have platforms for cancer survivors and advocating screening, because everyone's going through it or has been affected one way or another. And so the more you can bring that into the workspace and understand that it's okay for people to ask questions and there's different ways to support those employees, the better.
What does the breastcancer.org mission mean to you?
Well, it means a lot to me because it's personally affected me, breast cancer, but having an organization that recognizes all those stages I just spoke about that you go through in a journey for breast cancer. And it's a great place for knowledge and to connect with people and to get accurate information. And it builds a community and you know that you're not alone. So it's fantastic that breastcancer.org is bringing, even today, all these women in media marketing to amplify our stories and messages to continue to get the support out there to people that need it.